The interesting thing about being asked to sacrifice his own son,
Mm-hmm.
and this is another reason why I feel like this text has such a northern flair to it, is because, for example, if you told me, Justin, God told me to tell you that you need to sacrifice your son, even if I believed that God told me to sacrifice my own son, I would never do it because I grew up in a world in which child sacrifice is not in any way whatsoever at all ever tolerated. There is no way to justify sacrificing your child at all. However, we know that part of the northern territories of Palestine, especially up towards Phoenicia, there was practice of child sacrifice.
If God told you to sacrifice your child, you wouldn't do it?
No.
If you knew it was God?
Never.
If you knew it was God?
Nope. Send me to hell. Wouldn't do it.
Okay.
There's nothing you could do that would persuade me to harm my child. Nothing.
Okay.
I would go seek psychiatric treatment before I assumed God told me to kill my child.
Well, that's only because you know God is loving, right?
Well, that's the thing, and that's why the context here, I think, makes sense.
Yeah, because he's like, I know God is loving. He's telling me to do something bad. Obviously, he's got something up his sleeve.
Right.
That might actually be what it is.
Right. And again, going back to what we were saying about when I was in Catholic school, that was the prevailing view here, was that Abraham, for the first time, actually believed, no, God's got this one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is the first time Abraham really has faith in God.
Yeah.
Right. Nevertheless, the matter of child sacrifice, if he was from the tribe of Judah, a southern tribe, where the practice of child sacrifice wasn't really a thing in the Levantine region,
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine there would have been much discussion between him and God about, wait, what? You want me to do what? Why in the world would I sacrifice a child to you? That's insanity.
Mm-hmm.
That's wrong on every level. But in the northern territories, sacrificing your firstborn wasn't that crazy of an idea.
Well, why would people do that?
Well, it was just part of the religion.
What religion was that?
Well, ancient Canaanite religion. Now, it seems to have abated roughly around the time Abraham came on the scene.
Okay.
But we do have archaeological evidence that shows, especially up towards Phoenicia, that there were people, maybe not a lot of people, but there were people practicing child sacrifice. But nevertheless, I say all to say this. I think if the text is from the northern tribes, the matter of child sacrifice makes sense to the story. But if the story is from the southern tribes, like Judah, and it was written by later scribes, like a Yahwist,
okay,
the idea that child sacrifice would be part of the patriarchal narrative seems odd to me. You know what I mean? And in fact, the only time Yahweh, shows up in the story is when it's time for Isaac to be rescued.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all of a sudden, the good God, not Elohim, but the good God, Yahweh, shows up.
Okay, so it uses the different God language, right?
Yeah.
To show that it is intertwined, both of the stories.
Right.